This story begins in a world where a young woman finds herself trapped inside a novel. A tale of love, power, and villainy awaits. A servant steps into the grand hall, announcing, "The young lady has arrived." Melissa, the daughter of Duke Foddebrat, enters. Her father doesn't even look up, his cold voice fills the room. "You are late, Melissa." Melissa, unfazed, responds with a hint of rebellion. "I am always late, Your Grace." The atmosphere between father and daughter, distant, cold, almost unfamiliar. But it's understandable, considering Melissa is no ordinary daughter, nor is this her body. Let's rewind for a moment. You need to know the story before you understand Melissa's world. In the world of all the men that loved her, our heroine, Yuri, began her life as a commoner. A beautiful young woman who soon captured the hearts of every man she met. Recognizing Yuri's mysterious power, a baron adopted her, and from there, men fell madly in love with her. The first was the crown prince. And then, the millionaire merchant, each man with his own unique personality and dreams of winning Yuri's heart. But why do these men love her? Is it because of her beauty? Her angelic charm? Or is there something more? You'll find out soon enough. Of course, no story is complete without a villain. And in this one, the villainess is Melissa Foddebrat, the fiancée of the crown prince. Melissa, the nemesis of the werewolf, and the troublemaker who clashed with the millionaire merchant. But here's the twist. Melissa is no longer who she seems. The Melissa we know is now inhabited by someone else. She is the narrator. A college student who collapsed from stress and woke up in Melissa's body. And as you can see, Melissa wasn't exactly known for her grace. As Melissa, I had to deal with so many things. People always thought I cared too much about tradition and titles. But enough of that. Let's talk about what I really wanted to do. At first, living in Melissa's body, it was maddening. I had to suffer for all of her terrible decisions. But, compared to my real life as a college student, stressed out, burnt out, it wasn't all bad. I collapsed from stress, a car accident, high blood pressure. And when I woke up, I was here, in this story, living as Melissa. She has a wide forehead. A sign of wisdom, they say, with sharp golden eyes that reminded me of Goldie, the dog next door. I could live with this. I could survive as Melissa. After all, it's not like Melissa was in danger of losing her life, and she had no perilous fate waiting for her. But that didn't mean I was going to play the wicked villainess. And I certainly wasn't about to lure all these idiotic men into some kind of harem. Nope. I had other plans for this life. So, what did I do? I wrote a letter. A letter to the crown prince. He and Basilios. Of course, I started off formal. Melissa, reading the letter, Your Royal Highness, even as summer comes to an end, I hope this letter finds you well. The birds sing brightly and the flowers are. But I quickly got to the point. You must hate me, right? I wrote. Melissa. Let's be honest, the flowers you sent weren't even meant for me, and this is my 70th letter. Yes, that's right. 70 letters. And still nothing. After sealing the letter, I handed it to Yona. Yona, deliver this to the palace. Make sure they know it's from the crown prince's fiancée. And of course, I told her. If he doesn't respond again, we'll make a bigger mess than last time. Yona, a scene like you did before? Melissa, bigger! 10 times bigger! Oh man, we're kicking things off with Melissa being done. She's dragging herself through emotional quicksand, and you can almost hear the sad violin playing in the background. Everything feels heavy, and it's clear she's reached her breaking point. Melissa. I'm just sick and tired of this. So tired. Melissa's patience is at its end. She's forced to witness another one of Ian's humiliating public displays, and she can't stand it any longer. Her anger grows as she questions how much more she's supposed to endure, her thoughts filled with rage. And there he is, Ian freaking Basilios, the walking disaster she's supposed to marry. Melissa's rolling her eyes so hard they might just leave the room. This guy's out here acting like a prince, but Melissa? She's done with his nonsense. Our story takes place before Ian's fateful meeting with Yuri, the heroine. Melissa's suffering happens during this period, where Ian's reckless behavior remains unchecked. Until Yuri arrives, Melissa bears the brunt of his thoughtless actions. Ian's over here, claiming he's just searching for true love, but Melissa's like, sure, buddy, that's definitely why you're cheating in public. This guy's shameless, and Melissa? She's ready to call him out on his BS. Ian pretends that he's recovering from his reckless ways, but Melissa sees through the act. His flirtatious behavior continues unchecked, all under the guise of improving. It's clear he's waiting for his meeting with Yuri to begin his so-called transformation. Ian's throwing out his usual flirty lines like he's got a script. Oh, are you seducing me? The girls all giggly, and Melissa's sitting there wondering why she's got front row seats to this cringe fest. Ian's turning up the charm to cringe levels, telling this girl she'd turn any man into an animal. Like, wow, Ian, really original. Meanwhile, Melissa's doing her best not to lose her lunch at this point. Melissa's sitting there like, yep, typical Ian. His flirting's about as natural as a duck going for a swim. It's just who he is, and honestly, it's exhausting to watch at this point. Melissa's about to explode. She's sitting there thinking, is this guy for real? Does he even like her, or is this just his thing? Either way, she's done. That fuse is burning fast, and Ian's about to get roasted. Whoa, hold on, where's that hand going? Melissa's freaked out. She thought Ian's deviant habits were just about drinking too much or something, but now she's realizing things are way worse than she ever thought. Melissa used to think Ian's bad habits were innocent, like he was just out there brooding and taking late-night walks. But nah, turns out he was out there seducing women with the same basic lines. Who knew? Melissa. Did he pick up moves from cheap pulp fiction romance novels? Because honestly, his lines are so bad they'd make anyone cringe. This guy's basic and Melissa's done with it. Melissa's had it. She's looking at this girl like, really? This is the best you can do? The whole situation's twisted, and Melissa's not holding back. She's ready to burn it all down with her words. Melissa's sarcasm is in full swing now, and she's like, seriously? A handmaiden? In that outfit? Please. The whole situation's so ridiculous that it's almost laughable, but Melissa's not laughing, she's done with the joke. Ian's just digging himself deeper here, acting like nothing's wrong and ready to take things to a whole new level of gross. He's got zero shame, and Melissa? She's so over it. He's officially on her blacklist. Melissa's sitting there, furious, watching these two. The room's filled with those gross, lip-smacking sounds, and Melissa's thinking, why am I even here? Why am I putting up with this? It's not just humiliating, it's soul-crushing. Watching Ian act like this, while knowing she's stuck in this mess, is too much. Melissa's in full-on mental rant mode now. She's like, first of all, this is the royal sitting room. Second, Ian picked this girl up off the street. What is going on? Her internal frustration is off the charts, and she's mentally shouting every word. Melissa's sitting there thinking, he's cheating on me, right in front of me, and he invited me here for this. She's crushed, there's no other way to put it. Ian's treated her like garbage, and the betrayal stings hard. This isn't the first time something like this has happened, and Melissa knows it won't be the last. Her memories are filled with similar experiences, all of them adding to her bitterness. Ian has done this before, multiple times, and it's a pattern she's come to expect from him. Melissa's thoughts on Ian are clear, his behavior is beyond insufferable. The constant flirtations, the cheating, and the public humiliation, all of it makes him impossible to deal with. To Melissa, Ian is a royal disaster. Melissa doesn't hold back as she labels Ian exactly what he is, a royal, insufferable jerk. Her anger spills over as she uses harsh words to describe her so-called betrothed. It's clear she has nothing but contempt for him. After all this, Ian finally turns around and notices Melissa. Wow, took him long enough. But it's not like it matters, Melissa's over it. This tiny bit of acknowledgement does nothing to fix the damage he's already done. Melissa's sarcasm is on point as she addresses Ian with a mocking formality. Your Royal Highness, dog. The insult lands hard, but it's not like Ian didn't deserve it. Melissa's just done playing nice. Ian's confused, like, why is she acting like this? But Melissa's just done. She's seen so many of these scenes, and she's not playing the polite, quiet fiancée anymore. This is the real Melissa, and Ian's just not ready for it. Boom! Melissa's had enough, and she's not holding back anymore. She's throwing words like stupid whores out there and literally grabbing this girl by the hair. It's a full-blown scene, drama levels at max. Here's the tough part, Melissa's anger isn't even aimed at Ian, the real cause of all this. She's blaming the woman instead, and it's heartbreaking. It shows just how much Ian's messed with her head, making her forget who's really to blame here. Picture it, chaos everywhere. No words, just pure, raw emotion filling the room. Melissa's in full rage mode, and you can practically feel the tension in the air. No need for dialogue when the vibes are this intense. Melissa's not letting Ian get away with anything. He tries to ask something, and boom, she fires right back, I should be asking you that. She's throwing shade left and right, and Ian doesn't stand a chance. Melissa's sarcasm is on fire. She's like, the fact that I'm not bashing an ashtray into your head shows how rational I'm being. And then she drops the bomb, we finally get the truth, out of all the guys, she hates Ian the most. Honestly, can't blame her. Melissa's just done. She's like, why would I ever fall for a guy like Ian? He's a total under. She's throwing out the harsh truths, and honestly, she's not wrong. Ian's behavior is so bad, it's almost a joke at this point. It's that tense moment where everything's gone quiet, but the drama is still off the charts. You know something big's coming, and Melissa's mentally gearing up for the next move. Even with no words, the energy is electric. Melissa's fuming again, thinking, does this guy seriously think he's justified, sitting there cheating in front of me? Ian's audacity is off the charts, and Melissa's temper is skyrocketing. She can't even process how he could think he's right. Melissa's ready to bring the heat. She's like, oh, you think I insulted you? You haven't seen anything yet. Ian's about to get a verbal smackdown, and honestly, it's what he deserves. Melissa's sarcasm is on point. She's like, oh, you love kissing? How about you kiss the dirt where you belong? Ian's getting burned, and Melissa's serving it with a side of sass. This is the ultimate mic drop. Everything's gone quiet again, but wow, the room is buzzing with tension. Melissa's dropped her truth bombs, and now everyone's just sitting there, soaking in the drama. No words needed, the vibe says it all. For once, Ian's actually shocked. Melissa's words hit him like a ton of bricks, and now he's standing there, stunned into silence. It's a small victory, but Melissa's definitely savoring the moment. Ian looks like a total deer in the headlights right now. Melissa's loving it, she's like, look at him, standing there like a baby caught in the headlights. Her sarcasm is on point, and Ian's too stunned to respond. Melissa's done. She's like, really? Is he gonna cry after just one insult? The nerve of this guy. Ian's got no room to act like a victim here, and Melissa's straight up disgusted with him. Hard pass on any sympathy. She's like, oh, so now you're gonna cry? Really? After cheating right in front of me? She's not holding back any punches. The insult hits Ian right where it hurts, and let's be real, he deserves it. Melissa's done playing nice. Melissa's so done with this drama. She's sitting there like, seriously? I can't even with you right now. Unamused face. Ian's used to being on the sidelines, but now he's in the hot seat, and he's shocked. He's been playing the observer, but today? He's front and center in Melissa's storm. Ian's so confused. Flushed face for once, he's not the guy watching from the sidelines, he's in the line of fire. And Melissa? She's totally fine with it. She's like, yeah, he deserves this. Let him feel my wrath for a change. He's got no idea what's coming. Melissa's in full villainous mode now, laughing like a total queen. Crowned, she's like, hey, I'm the villainess, so why not own it? Gotta play the part sometimes, right? She's feeling empowered, and honestly, it's iconic. She's like, oh, I'll just leave you alone since you hate me so much. What's the point of even setting a date, right? She's mocking the whole engagement like it's a total joke, and Ian's just standing there, speechless. Melissa's sarcasm doesn't let up. She imagines a sarcastic version of their future, playing patty cake in bed as though it would be the highlight of their married life. Her words drip with disdain as she continues to mock Ian and the idea of a future together. Melissa. Once we're married? What, play patty cake in bed? I guess even that would be a godsend. Here's where things start to follow the book's original plot. Ian's gonna fall head over heels for Yuri and demand a separation from Melissa. It's like a soap opera playing out, and Melissa's engagement is just one big casualty. The original storyline? Heartbreaking for Melissa. Broken heart, she's gonna get hit with the news that Ian wants a separation, and it's gonna wreck her. She loves him, even though he's a mess, and she just won't let go of the engagement. It's tough to watch. Melissa's refusal to call off the engagement will lead to a public breakup, one where Ian cruelly casts her aside without a second thought. The humiliation will be unbearable, driving Melissa to ruin in the original story as her world crumbles around her. Melissa will refuse to call off the engagement, and Ian will thoughtlessly cast aside her feelings, embarrassing her in front of the whole kingdom. Melissa's not about to let history repeat itself. She's like, nope, not happening. I'm gonna change things. She's determined to rewrite her own story, and this time, she's not going down without a fight. Melissa, reflecting on her situation, can't believe what she ever saw in Ian. She's disgusted by his behavior and horrified that he would cheat on her so brazenly, right in front of her. Her anger boils over as she questions what she ever found attractive about him. Melissa. What in the world did Melissa even see in that guy? Even if he has no feelings for his fiancée, how could he cheat on her right in front of her? Finally, Melissa's seeing the light. She's like, there's literally no reason to stay with this guy. And honestly, Ian's probably been pushing her to end things this whole time. It's classic jerk behavior, acting out so she'll do the dirty work. This engagement? Total political arrangement. Ian hated Melissa, and when he asked for a breakup in the original story, she clung to him like a sinking ship. It was doomed from day one, but Melissa just couldn't let go. We get it, Ian's dislike for Melissa kind of makes sense. But soon, he's gonna meet Yuri, and that's when things are really gonna change. He's gonna fall for her hard, and once that happens, it's game over for Melissa. Melissa, fed up with the situation, expresses her frustration and decides it's time to break off the engagement. She believes that speeding up the events of the story won't lead to anything worse than what would have happened anyway. Her anger pushes her to take control of the narrative. Melissa. Let's break off the engagement like both of us want, you idiots. If this story develops more quickly than the original storyline in the book, what's the worst that could happen? Melissa's got this all figured out in her head. She's like, as long as I avoid Yuri, I'm golden. I'm the Duke's daughter, so no real issues on the horizon, right? She's confident, she's determined, and she's ready to rewrite her story. Melissa confidently reasons that ending the engagement won't damage her chances of future marriage. She's certain that her family's reputation is strong enough to survive this minor scandal, and her path to happiness remains open. Her optimism shines through as she contemplates her future. Melissa. One terminated engagement won't block my path to marriage, and the family name will survive this minor blemish. Melissa's pumped. She's like, it's the crown prince? So what? I can handle breaking off this engagement. She's super confident, ready to cut ties with Ian and move on with her life. She's got no fear, and you can feel the energy. Melissa's standing tall, looking like a queen ready to take over the world. Flex biceps, she's confident, she's determined, and she's not backing down. You can see it in her expression, she's ready to own her future. And here comes the transition, someone's probably reeling from what Melissa just said, completely shocked. The story's building up to something big, and you can feel the tension in the air. Something's about to go down. She's ready to get out of there, drop the mic, and call it a day. She's done with this drama, and it's time to bounce. Melissa's probably giving Ian a look that says, hurry up and say something, I want to leave. She's done playing nice, and her body language shows she's ready to get out of there. The tension's thick, and everyone's on edge. Someone's totally confused, like, what is even happening right now? Melissa's decision to end the engagement has left people shocked. Nobody saw this coming, and now everyone's scrambling to make sense of it. Thinking face asterisk. Ian's done a complete 180. He's gone from being totally wrapped up in his latest fling to being completely stunned by what Melissa just said. It's like, wait, what? She's ending this? The tables have turned, and Ian shook. The room is filled with surprise following Melissa's decision to cancel the engagement. Whoever speaks next is likely in disbelief, questioning what Melissa means by such an abrupt and unexpected action. Ian's freaking out. He's like, what do you mean cancel the engagement? Where is this coming from? The guy's totally blindsided, and he's shouting, desperate to understand what just happened. Talk about a reality check for him. While Ian's losing it, she's just sitting there, cool as a cucumber. The irony's delicious, and Melissa's completely in control. Melissa's done playing nice. She's like, oh, wait, was this all to get me to cancel the engagement? Or were you just trying to set up a threesome? The sarcasm is chef's kiss, and Ian's probably sitting there, totally speechless. Ian's face? Priceless. He's completely blindsided by Melissa's sarcasm. You can almost hear his brain short-circuiting as he tries to wrap his head around her suggestion. He's not ready for this level of savage. Melissa's still going strong with the sarcasm, totally enjoying Ian's awkward reaction. She's like, what's up with your face? Why do you look so freaked out? She knows she's rattling him, and she's loving it. Ian's totally losing it now. He's shouting, I don't want to cancel the engagement, and Melissa's sitting there like, wait, what? Since when? Ian's freaking out, and Melissa's genuinely confused for the first time. Melissa's sarcasm hits new levels as she's like, oh, so do you have an adultery fetish? Is that what this is? She's not letting up, and Ian's getting roasted. There's no mercy from Melissa today. Ian's at his wit's end. He's shouting, why do you keep making all these weird assumptions? Do you just enjoy making me miserable? Melissa's driving him up the wall, and it's clear that he's got no clue how to handle her anymore. Things are heating up. Melissa and Ian are locked in this verbal showdown, both of them furious. It's like a firestorm of emotions, and nobody's backing down. The tension's off the charts. Melissa's laying it on thick. She's like, oh, so all this was just to torment me? I thought there was some deeper plan, but nope, you're just messing with me. The sarcasm's brutal, and Ian's probably sitting there, speechless. Melissa's hitting the truth hard. She's like, how can I have a loving relationship with you when you're clinging to other women? It's sad, but it's the cold, hard truth. Melissa's finally accepting that things can't work between them. The room's gone silent. The argument's cooled off, but the tension? It's still intense. Both Melissa and Ian are probably standing there, stewing in their thoughts, trying to figure out what comes next. And then, awkward silence. The only sound? Someone getting dressed. It's a reminder of the mess that just happened, and everyone's left to deal with the uncomfortable tension that's still hanging in the air.